to work very hard until like
they just
18, and then they're sort of told, all right, go get a job, or go to university, which is also hard work.
That means with this means environment was an impact to the Nigerian youth, to the African youth. I'm talking as a Nigerian man now. Probably environment has been an impact.
Yeah.
And why is it an impact? Is because one, probably the kind of underdeveloping economy, it's an impact too.
Yeah.
Probably some are, yes, they are not lazy, because when you see an African man walking, you know that
he's
this
working hard. Yeah,
he's an African man
out there and then working away. People here wouldn't be able to handle that.
So you know that this person, he's an African man. But probably it's not the leadership alone, and we also should believe in working. Youth.
Believe that your work will do something. Believe that there's value in it.
I said something sometimes. I said, somebody like me, even if you put me somewhere, stay somewhere, then you just want me to be paid without doing anything. I'm telling you, it's not going to be convenient for me. I found fulfillment in working.
You take pride in what you achieve.
Doing something. Let me just use my brain. The brain is there to just.
You don't want to be bored, you want to be kept.
Honestly, So the brain is there to just do something, and use the hands for something. You understand? So it means we are not lazy, but it's just the mentality that we have to work on. You can still be in an environment like that too, then have a good mentality that you need to work hard, and then you can achieve what you want.
And it's hard to sort of introduce that to people. I mean, it's easy in this country, because all of our roads are finished. They're all working. All we need to do now is maintain them. We have railways. They're all built. If we want to get materials from one part of the country to another, we can just put it on a train. Easy. And so it's not hard work to maintain things.
Environment affects our country too, Africa. I think the kind of what we find in an environment, and thank God we found, if you have found yourself living in Africa, is a very great opportunity and a privilege, because unlike all these areas, it's been developed. You just said it. The railways are working, the roads are working. It's just to maintain them. The buildings are there, unless they just need more. So, but
there's always
now
more.
You have an opportunity to still be in Africa. Means you have a great privilege to just use this mentality to supply needs to the new generation or the next generation coming behind us. So I think that is just,
and you can look at the UK and the way that it built its railways and see where they went wrong, see what you can do better. There's the opportunity for building a better place. Definitely.
That is what we need in Africa as a youth, because they say something that the youth is a strength of the country. The youth is bring some statement years ago. One of the leaders in Africa that said one of the country that the youths are lazy. It's a president, and he said he's youth, but probably because he has moved all over the country and he has have a lot. Because I moved in, and I could validate his points that this is the reason why this leader, this president, made mention that the youth of the country. They are lazy. Well, it's not to be said from a good leader like that, as in it's just you have to cover up for your youth, and whichever way it is, because it's not being lazy, probably because
there's not the right incentives. They're not
good. Or no, let me now tell you, let us change. I want to provide solution now. to the problems now among the youth in Africa.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to tell you, if you employ me in Africa, you say, okay, we spend naira, right? You want to pay me 10 naira for 1 hour. Yeah. I'll be glad to go to work, because I know if I go to work for 5 hours, I'm going to get 50 naira that day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just putting naira now.
Yeah.
So I'll get 50 naira. Means if I don't go to work, I'm not going to get paid.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to encourage the youth too. So that
you get paid for the hours you do. And
you know that probably if that system can be shipped into the system of government in Africa, it's going to help a lot too. So that it's not going to be, oh, you're going for work for just 1 month, or you just have to be at work. And
so longer term jobs, you know, like more solid contracts.
Yes, good. So because if those things are being put in place, like, you need to kindly share this program, so that people can get more, as in people can keep getting along with us on this program. And what's the time? We just want to use 40 minutes or 1 hour.
Yeah.
So
I've got time.
So we just want to use 1 hour, but I knew that there's something we need to talk about in Africa. I've said, if I move across Africa, I'm going to at least ship in some little knowledge I got from here, ship it back to Africa.
You're doing well doing that. You've learned a lot. I mean, just even
can you imagine?
Yeah.
So I said, and that is why I tell some of the people that just come into this country that we're just from African too. Some of them, you can't, because you're looking for paper and you just don't want to do one other work, and you don't want to just go to places where, and that's why I love learning. Thank God you know that.
Yeah.
So
you're very good at learning too. I was happy to train.
So as in, I love learning, and that is why when you were training me, it was so easier for me to catch up on time.
Yeah.
Because I have developed a mindset.
Yeah, that's where
that's mentality.
From. Yeah, the mentality, the mindset. You know, you want to learn. I
want to know these things.
Yeah.
You get that?
It's good.
That's until a youth in Africa develop a mindset.
How do you teach them that? Yeah.
Your brain, you work on your brain system. That is, I'm from Africa. I'm going to talk to African youth. We have to work on our brain system. Like, it's not the government now. We have chipped in the aspect of the government, the leaders, probably changing the system of working, like paying per hour. You understand that if you pay per hour, then I know if I'm not going to work today, means I have to, I'm not going to get paid for that. Yeah.
And then
you know what it means?
Yeah.
And then let us do this thing too. You know, what actually drives the motives of people working in abroad? Let me tell you. You may not know. African system of payment for accommodation. You paid monthly, but this is a year. Like, it is a year we'll pay.
Wait, so you pay a whole year?
You will not know. We'll pay. This is what we do. Now, let me say, I have my house in Africa.
Yeah.
But let me say I'm renting in Africa. Probably I want to rent this building right in front of us. Okay. The landlord will ask you, are you paying for that you should pay 2 years rent?
Do you get 2 years rent?
A year or 2 years rent?
Straight away. No, you're not paying month by month.
That's all. I'm telling you, there are a lot of things that is wrong with African system. That natural. Okay, I want to chip in why that has affected us too. That makes us get here, and to fixing into the system was like so hard. Now, so to somebody like that have paid 2 years rent, do you think you still need to work hard during the course of the year?
Yeah, because you've already paid. You don't need to worry. You're fine. Yeah, I see it. You can work later when you need the money again.
That is it.
Yeah.
Some of these things affected us in Africa. And as a child growing up, now you're not a youth, you are owed to rent a house. If you know that in the next month you pay monthly, in the next month you have to pay rent, I'm telling you, you work.
Yeah, because you got to take money now. You got to be ready. Yeah.
So you will not believe on internet before you make money, because you know that what if internet doesn't bring the money, or probably you are doing an online business and this is not bringing money. Do you think when you see where there is a job going on one side, will you not run to that side to go and make your money, and it's going to be hours?
Yeah.
So there are some things that need to be worked on.
This is good, but it also has some problems, because with the UK way of doing things, you don't get to negotiate when you're a worker, when you got your contract, you couldn't talk to the bosses and say, I don't know, I can I change this around? Can I don't like this part of the contract. Can we talk about it? Okay. No. That's the contract they're giving you.
Yeah, it's good.
And you have to sign it. You don't get to make any decisions.
No, it is good. You know why it is good? Now, you already know that this is a contract. That this is what you are. You have 25 days holidays in a year. Okay, they sign a contract of 2 years with you. You have 25 days holidays in a year. Already it's stated there that you have your time to go and rest at home.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. The contracts here aren't bad, but we'll get into some ideas I have, because contracts can be better. I know some friends that have traveled a lot more than me.
Yeah.
One of my friends, he was a student up at Exeter University for politics.
Yeah.
And whilst he was a student there, he went and he did volunteering in Cambodia, I think, and he knows a lot about Cuba. He was very well educated man, much smarter than me.
Yeah.
That's not too hard.
No, education is not what intelligence will bring a lot of experience to you, and that's it. So,
but yeah, I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me about how Cuba handles this kind of thing. And in Cuba, there is a sort of universal income, so everyone gets paid, whether you're working or not. Okay? Yeah. A minimum amount, right? So enough to survive. You will have enough to eat something. It won't necessarily be good, but you can eat. You have somewhere to sleep, whether you're working or not. You will survive.
But is it good?
But the thing that makes it good is that then, if you do work after that, you have enough to survive on, so you don't have to worry. You're not afraid that you're going to be on the street or struggling.
Okay,
it gives you that safety net.
That is where the leadership came in
and looks after its people.
He looks after his people.
Yeah, and so from that they then they end up with more there are more doctors per
because
capita in Cuba.
You already been catered for. Not like when I was growing up, I came up from a poor background, a poor family, and we have to work for so many things before we could achieve it.
Yeah.
We struggle so hard. In fact, so harder. Let me use the word harder, because it was so hard, and that kind of place. Even if I'm so brilliant, or probably I should have come out with a first class from the university, then because I'm
too busy working, you're struggling so much you don't have the time.
That is it. I don't have the time for. So in that kind of scenario where your government provides stuff like that, and support, support, a lot of support, and what you have to do is just go and learn and come out with the best research and whatever you want to do, and then that makes of your kind.
There's part of it is you need to have the right things to push you, like you say here with the rent. Knowing that you've got rent coming up soon means you're driven. You've got that motivation
to work.
Yeah, but then you also need that support that even if things go wrong, at least you've got things you can turn back to. Before I started working at the company with you, I was actually unemployed for months. It was bad. I was in a lot of debt. I
said, if we change the system of working and the system of renting in our country, it's going to help us. In fact, naturally, it's going to change our mentality.
Yeah.
Because you will know that you stop working you were jobless for just maybe 1 month or 2 months, means
4 months.
4 months means there will be debt.
Yeah, I was in debt. It was scary, but I was never homeless. I always had a roof over my head and food in my belly. It was cheap. I was making do as
probably because of the dividends you
I had,
and the aspect of the government. That is it.
Support.
But now support from the government, but that is just on the aspect of the government. We've talked about aspect of the government now, but on the aspect of the youth, if we bring in to change the mentality anyway, that's I think is going to help in Africa.
Something to strive for, something to motivate you, while also having the support, so you can try all this safely.
Then you'll be able to know that, if I don't go to work today, I don't go to work in 3 months, means I'll be in debt. Then you'll be in debt of house rent.
You
You understand that?